Alright, welcome to part 4 on the Yamaha Raptor 660 from 2002. As you guys know, last video we tried taking this thing for a ride after fixing it up, and it's leaking oil out of right here. So we ended up buying a new case cover for it, so this whole cover has to come off in order to change out that one tiny imperfection right there. So we got to drain the coolant, the oil, and the whole cover has to come off, and then we need a new gasket as well. So we got the new cover in, and then over here, this cover right here, I just bought one of those, and that's gonna go on there like that because that's broken right here. It's cracked pretty bad actually. So we're gonna put the new one on. Got this thing for 30 bucks with the bearing in there, so that'll go on right there. Easy fix for that, and then this thing should be pretty much all good to go. I'm still looking for a cover right here and for a headlight. I found one headlight for like 80 bucks plus shipping, which I feel like is pretty expensive just for a piece of plastic and a light like that, but who knows. But I'm still looking for the cover as well, a black one, and then this thing should be pretty much complete. Then we can go and rip it. So I got the cover back here. I found the cover for $110 with like 20 bucks shipping. So here's the cover. You can see it's pretty nice. And there's the spot that we need not stripped out. So that one looks good. That's where the oil goes in. And you can see the water pump goes right in there. So hopefully that all works out and everything's good on there. But we'll swap that out today as well, and then go attempt to take this for another ride, because I really want to ride this thing and really let it rip. So let's start by replacing this cover first. Alright, let's get this broken cover off. See, it's cracked pretty bad. Well, now it's broken for sure. There we go. Alright. That. Alright, here's the old cover. You can see broken pretty good. Here's the other piece that came off. That's going right in the garbage. Alright, we gotta get some gasket maker on here. Got some gasket material on there. Alright, that's all good to go. On to the next one. So for this one, we've got to take off the clutch cable, the whole clutch mechanism, oil line right here and right there. We got to drain the coolant. We've got to take off the whole water pump area. Wonder if we need a new water pump gasket for that as well. Coolant line needs to come off, oil needs to be drained. I'm wondering if, yeah, I think this has to come off too. So foot pegs have to come off and all that fun stuff. So lots of work to do. Alright, let's first get the coolant drained out of here. We've done this a time or two before already. I'll open this guy up. Alright, coolant drained out. Let's get the plug back in. Now this line has to come off. Yeah, I think this one just has to come off. Alright. Then this oil line, that oil line. We want to first drain the oil. Just walking over to the right side. Drain this oil out. Alright, no metal chunks or anything in the oil. Looks pretty good. And that's after the first ride, so that's a good sign that everything was rebuilt correctly. We'll let that drain for a bit. Alright, we got the Nerf bar out of the way. That should be enough to get this thing off of here. Let's go around the perimeter, get all the bolts off. Alright, we got all the perimeter bolts off. Let's get the water pump off of here. Kinda wanna see what's behind here. I've never taken this cover off before, so should be interesting. A little oil on that one. Try not to rip the gasket so we could possibly reuse it. That one goes all the way. Let's see what's behind there. A little bit of coolant. There's the water pump right there. I think this whole cover comes off. Alright, so this just pulled out, and that's the water pump. You can see. So that just goes right onto there. So that pulled out as well. Kinda nice. Now the cover should come off. Ooh, little piece of metal fell off of it. I'll check that out. Well, we found another problem with it, of course. Look at that gear. Teeth are completely off of it. I think here's a chunk of it right here. Found that in there. So that's not good. A couple teeth are off. Looks like the clutch basket got scraped up a little bit. You can see some scrapes. A little ding out of it right there. Can't believe that was working properly. So I'm guessing the water pump was not working properly, because that's the gear that connects to the water pump, and it goes like this. It attaches in there like that. So I don't think it was connecting all the time, at least not right there and right there. So we gotta replace that for sure. The clutch looks fine so far. Looking for any other gears that are just chewed up, but I think that's the only one. And that should just come off with taking that big nut off of there. So that's not that big of a deal. Just wondering how much the gear is. But that piece, I don't know, it doesn't even look like that piece. So hopefully something else didn't break. We'll have to probably take off the clutch and inspect it further. But let's take a look inside the cover, see what that looks like. Alright, here's the cover. Just looking for any metal chunks in here. Doesn't appear to be any. Oh, wait, nope. Thought that was a chunk for a second there, but looks like no more chunks. So that's good. Ooh, yeah, look at this. Huh, that's broken too. Look where it holds the clutch. Look at the big cracks in there. It's a good thing we're replacing this cover. Look at those big cracks. That's crazy. That is crazy. And then this is where it was stripped out. You can see right in here. All the threads are stripped about maybe a centimeter down. You can see the strip threads in there. So that's no good. So yeah, this cover definitely needed to be replaced. It's a good thing we're doing that. We're probably going to take off the clutch and check that out next. Make sure that's all good and that everything behind it's good. So we'll probably have to order up that gear. But so far that's the only thing wrong I see with it. Alright, let's get this clutch off of here. See what else is behind here. This thing is really starting to cause some problems. Clutch plates look pretty decent. You can see. And there's this guy. The last two plates. Kind of weird. Nut right here. Like the one, looks like it's a 30 millimeter, big boy. Came off easy. Any damage behind there? Doesn't look like it. No damage anywhere that I can see yet. Push it right here. Needs to line up this. There we go. Take this guy off. Let's see if there's any damage behind there. I thought maybe the plastic gear would be chewed up, but that's looking pretty good, luckily. Alright. Oil pump gear is not chewed up, so that's good. And that's pumping oil. Just saw the oil pour out of it. Let's see, everything else looks like it's pretty decent. Except for this one gear. So everything has its teeth on it. Looking at this little guy, yeah, everything looks pretty good. Let's see if we can dig out any metal chunks. I think I see one right here. Oh yeah, there's another metal chunk right here. I think I see another one in there. I see a big chunk lodged in here. Chunks after I'm done getting them out. They're coming from right here. There's another one in here as well. So good thing it was leaking oil, because I would have never found this problem. That probably would have broken early into our ride. Sure I'm not missing anything. Alright, we just got done spraying this all out with some brake cleaner. All the little metal shavings are out, and we found all of these guys right here. So a bunch of metal chunks, and then here's some like plastic, looks like silicone, with all these metal pieces right here. Those were all in there. I'm trying to get this nut off right here, but it looks like it's a little bit too big for my biggest socket. So we're gonna have to go to the store and pick up a new socket. It's about, let's see here, I think it's a 36 millimeter socket. The biggest one I have is 33. So you can see 35, so 36 right there. So we're gonna have to buy a 36 millimeter socket to finish this job. But you can see the damage right there. Just chipped right off. I don't know how that happens. It's very strange. Very, very odd. Something must have gotten through and gotten lodged in there and cracked it. So that's why I'm looking for another piece of metal that fell through somewhere. But it doesn't look like there is one. So I don't know. I'm guessing this one is the one that... Where is it? Oh, there's another piece. Where'd the other big piece go? Oh, right here. I'm guessing this is the one that lodged in there. That's a big sucker. So it looks like that was lodged in there at one point, because you can see it's like an indent right there. So I'm guessing that got crushed between the gears. But yeah, luckily it didn't damage the water pump or anything. Oh, maybe it did. Look at that. It did damage that water pump gear. Dang. So that got stuck, I believe, in there like that. And it just chomped it. So we need to replace that as well. Great. Let's see what else needs to be replaced on this thing. Any other gears? Take a look at the clutch again, just to make sure. On the back, the gears are good. Let's go through each one. Oop. Yeah, those all look good. So we're fine there. But yeah, let's order up a couple parts, get that socket, and finish this job. Alright, we went to the store and we got the 36mm socket. So let's try to get this gear off now. Hopefully it'll come right off. Aha. That's good. Get that guy off of there. This whole thing comes off. And let's see, how is it on here? Should probably... So the little dot right here is lined up with the dot right here. You can kind of twist this around a little bit. There. That was behind there like that. So you can see this whole thing comes off. Teeth on here, just completely wrecked. So I actually ordered up a new one of these, and a new water pump gear. So let's go get those out and install those. Right, here's the new gear. As you can see, no imperfections on that puppy. So let's install that next. So this goes on one way, but you can twist this gear to make sure it lines up here. Trying to find the dot. Oh, there we go. If you look, two dots are lined up, one right there, one right there. So that's perfect. This is nice and tight on there. And we've got the woodruff key in there. So now the I believe this goes on like this. And then we've got the nut. Then we'll torque that thing down. Alright, let's get the clutch back on. Alright, just making sure everything's good in here. Looks good before we put it back on. One more check back here. That's good. Alright, let's get that nut tightened down. Alright, we got the nut torqued down, and then we flipped over the little stopper on there. Alright, let's get the clutch plates on. Start off with a friction plate. Steel plate. And then after the second ring comes this ring right here. It's called the spring cushion. This is what that looks like. This goes in there like that. Another friction plate. Then this plate's going to go back on. There's a bearing in there. It's gonna go on this way. I believe the arrow is pointing towards it. Right there. You can see the arrow is pointing to where it needs to go. There's a little dot or divot. Alright, that looks good. We got a tusk gasket here. Like that. Alright, we also got a new water pump sprocket. So here's the new one. You can see none of the teeth are damaged. And you can see the old one. I'll quick take this thing off so you guys can see what it looks like. We'll put the new one back on. That's what that looks like. Where's the damage here? Right there. There's the damage to it. Right there. So I figured we'd get a brand new one, just to make sure that that doesn't happen again. Alright, that's all good to go. Alright, it's raining pretty good outside right now. Nice thunderstorm going on. But we're going to continue the build here. Gotta get her done. Alright, cover is back on. We got the oil filter back on, clutch is hooked up, coolant lines are hooked up, and then you can see in here I got the banjo bolt and the oil line hooked up right there. And it tightened down really nice and tight, so I don't think we're gonna have a problem with leaking oil there anymore, which is great. And I think the problem is going to be fixed. So now we just have to add some coolant, add some oil, and give it a test drive. Alright, so to do the oil change on this thing, I drained out all the oil, and then we've got the new filter on it from last time. I already did this oil change before, so it's my second time doing it. But you just open up this dipstick right here, and we're going to put 2 quarts in here, start it up, and then put the other half quart in. If it takes another half quart, we'll see. Alright, let's see if she starts here. Get that oil circulating. Sound good? Alright, we'll get the other oil in there next. Alright, let's see what happens. Alright, so no more leaks, so that's great. That solved our problem. Let's go head out to my parents and take it for the ride. Alright, we made it out to my parents' house. Test number 2 coming up. Hopefully it lasts a lot longer than test number 1. Alright, here we go. Test number 2. We're going to really warm it up, and then we're going to check and see if that fan comes on. I'm a little worried about overheating, so hopefully it does turn on and we don't have any problems. I topped off the coolant. You can see it's topped off in there. I don't know if you guys can see that or not, but it's a little windy, so I'm just going to be using the GoPro. But yeah, let's start her up, see what happens here. Starts right up, idles perfectly. Let her warm up for a bit before we really go hard with it. We're doing full send today, top speed tests, everything. So we will see how she does. Oh yeah. Alright, this is where we lost it last time here, going down the road here. Fast, real fast. Woo-hoo! This thing's fast. We've got the speedometer app installed on the phone. You can see it. I don't know if you guys can see it or not, but it says 0 right now. But let's take this thing for top speed run, see how she does. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. 45, 59. Oh man, I think we get close to 80 there. We hit 75.2 miles an hour. 3, 2, 1. Give her a cool down. We really strung her out there. Let's see. 79.45. Almost 80 miles an hour on this thing. Whew. I'd say that's pretty good. Alright, as we can see, top speed 79.45 miles an hour. So right at 80 basically, rounding up. That is very fast. I'm pretty happy with the way it turned out. But yeah, that's going to wrap up today's video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed and enjoyed the series on this thing. It took a long time, but we finally got it going and it's finally reliable. So I'm going to probably check out that fan and see if that turns on at all and then go from there, but otherwise it's pretty much done. And then I'm going to look for a headlight as well. But pretty much done now. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. Thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. Stay tuned until next video. Until next time, we are out.